This video is going to explain a little bit about how a blues scale works compared to the chord that you're playing it with. So if I'm going to play a C blues scale, and I'm going to play that with a regular C major chord, which is made out of notes 1, 3, 5 of a C scale. Why is it that this blues scale has all these black notes that are not notes in the chord? And why does that work? So here's the explanation, at least from my point of view. First of all, everything that we're doing on a C chord or a C blues scale begins with thinking about the C scale itself, the regular Western C major scale, which is made out of notes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in the key of C. And this would be true of whatever key you're in. So I'm going to use numbers for now just to keep it straight. So when you're making a C major chord, it's made out of notes 1, 3, and 5 of that C scale. When you add the 7 to that, you're actually not adding the regular 7 of the scale, you're lowering that by a half step. So when you see a chord symbol that says C7, what that means is play 1, 3, 5 of the C scale and lower the 7th a half a step. So that's the basic chord you would be playing when you're playing a C blues scale. So what I'm going to do right now is put that chord in my left hand so you can see it. 1, 3, 5, dominant 7. So I've lowered the 7, and the 1, 3, and 5 are the regular ones for the scale. Now in the C blues scale, let me show you first which notes are the same as the C chord, the ones that are in the blues scale. The blues scale has, that's not in the C scale, that one is, that one's not, that one is dominant. I didn't explain that well, but let me try that again. So these notes in the blues scale kind of match what the left hand does or what the regular C scale has. What's different in the blues scale notes are these 3 blue notes, which is the flat 3, and again we're relating this all to note number 1. So we have a flat 3, a sharp 4, and a flat 7. So when you hear those played against the regular C7 chord, what your ear is hearing is this flat 3 against the regular 3, and your ear is hearing this sharp 4 against the 5 of the chord, and it's hearing the flat 7s next to each other, but they're contrasting with the 1 of the chord. So the reason that blues scale sounds cool is because it's creating tension. I'm going to use a funny fingering so you can see it a little better. So it's creating a tension between these blue notes contrasted with an octave lower, a note a half a step away from that blue note. And those actually match a bit. So the reason the C blues scale sounds cool with the C7 chord is because it's giving you contrast, conflicting notes that if they were in the same octave would sound really icky, but because they're an octave apart, it kind of has this cool jazzy thing. So that's one of the secrets of playing jazz and blues, is that you want to create a lot of contrast. Whoops, there's my contrast. But you want to have it an octave apart so there's a little buffer between it. So these, let me go back to the chord for a minute. In the C chord, if you have the 3 here of the C chord and you have the flat 3 of the C blues scale, if they're next to each other, they really wouldn't sound that good, but because they're an octave apart and because we have the 7 of the chord in between, all of a sudden it sounds kind of cool. So that's the secret of why the blues scale works and gives you that jazzy, bluesy sound.